Hi, I'm David, and this is going to be a lesson on making money as a yoga instructor. So, as a yoga instructor, making money is a little bit of an oxymoron. They don't really go together. It's like a quiet riot. It's a term that doesn't really go together. I would always tell my yoga teacher training students to talk to me about their goals and their aspirations, and I would be realistic with them, letting them know it is very possible to make money as a yoga instructor, but the chances of making money as a yoga instructor can be really difficult. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to talk about ways you can make money online teaching yoga and owning a yoga teacher training school, or just teaching yoga on your own. I want to talk about some of the interactive options and talk about some of the things that we offer. And on top of that, if you're not a yoga instructor, this is still a great video for you. This is all about making money online, particularly if you're a yoga instructor. These are going to be the demonstrations, but this is just strictly making money online. So without further ado, we're going to dive in. Now we're going to start with taking you to my website. And this is saulyogacourses.com. And let's go ahead and go to this in my incognito window. Okay. So my website is a clean looking website. You want to have something that looks nice. I actually had a gentleman help me out with this one. I have a free ebook which collects emails. Email is still a great way to get leads, and you can court them. I get courted all the time through email for pizza or Home Depot, and eventually I make a sale. Right here, this is my chat box with Java chat, which I highly recommend. I have an option for my clients to give me a video conference, which I think is fantastic. It hovers and glows, and it kind of just drags you in. This is one of my talking faces. It has a half off special where I give half off my complete program. My program online for the interactive courses will give my students the opportunity to become Yoga Alliance yoga instructors. Yoga Alliance is the highest governing body in the world, so they could teach anywhere in the world, open their own studio. It's the most recognized by far in the world. And right now it's on sale for $1,000 because it is online, but just because it's online doesn't take away from the brilliance of it, because we do have a lot of interactive courses. So I want to show you the cart. Let's go ahead and we're going to go to one of my courses. That's an interactive course. I'm going to show you a glimpse into some of my courses. Vinyasa and Hatha Yoga. Now, when you go to cart and you add the course, one thing I want to show you, multiple payment options. You have credit card by checkout. You can do PayPal. You can do Venmo. You can do Pay Later. You can do Buy with Google Pay. On the phone, you can do Apple Pay. I allow for coupons. I often give coupon codes if people reach out to me or if they want it through a prize or whatnot. Let's go ahead and proceed to checkout. I want to show you something else, and that's going to be Klarna. Now, Klarna offers installment payments, and it's great because this takes away the need to discuss payment plans with the client. The merchant, which would be us, we get paid up front immediately. And getting paid up front immediately means we don't have to have any awkward conversations with the client. We don't need to discuss payment plans ever. We've already taken care of that. If they were to default on a payment, that doesn't affect us. They paid us in full. Klarna would be the issue that they would have and where they would need to go to talk. So when you finish your website or your payment processors, I highly recommend that you think about some sort of installment payment plan, and I think Klarna is a great option. Okay, let's go ahead and continue on. I want you to take a look at some of my courses. So we're going to look at one of the interactive courses. Here we go. Here's my link. And this is going to be Hatha and Vinyasa Yoga. This is one of my courses. And we're going to ahead and start the course. Now, this is through Articulate 360. This is going to be a visually beautiful interactive experience. I'm going to go ahead and take me. I'm going to bring myself down. There we go. And let's focus on the course. You can see it gives a good amount of information. There's animation, quality, and it will give you basic information. It will also give you good information to continue on to. Now you can see here each vinyasa class ends with court post. This is true. This is technically what you're going to experience. If you were to get this wrong, it's no big deal. You just go ahead and move it to the right one. Now, to be honest, not every vinyasa class ends with course post. Let's go ahead and go all the way to the quiz. And you can see there's a quiz here. There's a lot of option for different sorts of interaction and different ways to move this up. Different ways to learn yoga through the Articulate 360. Okay, let's go ahead and talk a little bit about the chat box again. This is Jivo Chat. You have the glowing right here with the chat box. Now, when someone chats with me, I can accept the chat. We just had myself as a dummy accept the chat. I'm going to go ahead and try again. I'm in an incognito window. So let's move myself up here. Okay. Hello. Now my computer's making that because I have this open here. Okay. So I'm chatting with myself. Okay. Now my chat bot, I have it set where I do ask for information. I ask for name, number. These aren't required. I do ask for email because I would like to try to get in touch with the client. Okay. Let's go ahead and come out of here. Go back to home. Now let's take a look at the website a little bit more. When you're doing an online business, you want a very aesthetically pleasing website to the best of your ability. If you can make a clean looking website, you're doing great things. You're in a good place. So the cleaner your website can look, the better. Always try to get something that looks good and is engaging. You want to continually ask the client to make a transaction, and that transaction could be a monetary transaction, it could be a sale, or it could be something such as an email. Grabbing an email from a client is great because as you grab an email, you can really focus on getting a chance to talk to the client over time. You can court them. You could talk about a pre-launch. You could talk about a course you have coming up, and over 2 weeks, drop an email about every other day and be like, hey, the course is coming up in about 10 days. Course is coming up in about 6 days. Hey, that course is coming up about 5 days. We have the early bird special. You might want to check in. These are great ways to make money online. I know people that they will launch a course. They haven't even built the course, but they'll do a pre-launch. When they get enough money from the pre-launch, because they're credible, they've built a reputation of being reliable, they'll go ahead and use that money to hire the independent contractors or their team to build the course. So they really just as a face collected the funding up front and then built the course. Nothing wrong with that. It's a good business practice as long as you have the contingency plan. If I were to do something like that, I would always make sure that I can build the course on my own, where in the event that I couldn't find the right funding or I couldn't get the right team together, I can always go in and do it myself. And luckily I'm well versed enough where if I had to, I can do all this on my own. Okay. Just go ahead and talk a little bit more about making money online, not just as a yoga instructor, but also as a business owner. So we talked a little bit about the checkout options and collecting payment. We discussed a little bit about the product. We talked a little bit about the marketing aspect. One thing that you're going to want to keep in mind is traffic. One of the better revenues for traffic has been YouTube. YouTube has helped me out because I am monetized, and YouTube now has incentive to showcase my videos, just like I have incentive to work and help YouTube by producing videos and giving them content. They're giving me the traffic. Another good way to utilize traffic is Google, a Yelp, a Google Maps. Anything with Google associated with it can help you out, such as a Google Maps. A Yelp will help you out. Yelp's a very popular company. If you're on Yelp getting reviews, that should be great engagement. If you're on Google getting reviews, that's great engagement. If you're on YouTube making videos, you should ask your clientele to leave comments, like, subscribe, because that engagement will help you with your ranking. If you're not seen, it's going to be really hard for your business to get an opportunity to have a chance. So you want to be seen. You're going to need eyeballs on you. So what I recommend is take the time to get familiarized with Google and ranking, Yelp, YouTube. We call this SEO, search engine optimization. And you want to see if you can get an opportunity for your business to climb up the ranks and specifically get ahead of maybe some of your competition by having keywords. Whatever those keywords are, you're going to want to cling to them. So if I own a pizza shop in Southern California, then my keywords are going to be Southern California pizza shop or something along those lines. What I do is I do yoga teacher training. So I often link myself with yoga teacher training because that's what I do. I train yoga instructors, and my graduates are allowed to move on to Yoga Alliance and become yoga instructors, registered with Yoga Alliance. Whatever you're doing, you're going to want to figure out your keywords and optimize yourself for that purpose. Okay, let's go back to the interactive courses. So having interactive courses is really a great way to produce. And you can see here, just doing these courses with you, there's a lot of opportunity for education here. There's clicking, there's moving, there's thinking, there's a lot going on. And with something like this, it really produces an opportunity for two ways of learning: active recall and spaced repetition. The spaced repetition is hearing the same amount of education over and over again, but through different spaces. Now, active recall is being forced to recall the information, but doing it in a way where your brain forgets some of it. But because you're doing active recall, you're recalling some of it, and you're forcing your brain to learn it by recalling it just as you start to forget it. Now, the key is you want to start to forget it just a bit, at least some of it. Studies are showing if you can do active recall with spaced repetition, chances are you're going to increase the effectiveness of your memory far more if you were just to read something over and over and over again. In fact, it's overwhelmingly ridiculous how helpful it is to utilize active recall and spaced repetition. Okay. Now, one of the reasons I can actually go in here and produce a great quality course like this, I often have my interactive courses linked up with multiple types of courses. So it's not just an interactive course here per se with me. I also have a OneDrive of access to other videos that I make, lessons. We have a Slack where we have a community where I upload footage and I upload Zoom account informations. I take my Zooms and I put them together in particular stories. I have a account with a company called grain.co, and with that, I can actually take my Zoom meetings and I can make highlights of the meetings. And within the meeting, while the meeting's going on, I can put those highlights together in a story, almost like an Instagram story, and it will show each clip, and it can do it while the Zoom's going on. It's very easy. I can hit a button and it will take that same clip and put it right to the Slack. So often I do things like that. The key here is what we're doing is engagement. And that's what you're going to really utilize to make money online. So let's recap how you're going to want to start your making money online protocol in business, the number one thing I would recommend is find a way to get a website. It can be your Yelp can be your website if need be. Yelp is free to make, but you're going to want to get some sort of website. Google offers some free websites when you make a register a business with them. So I would definitely try to get some place where you can get eyeballs. Number two, try to figure out how to utilize SEO, search engine optimization. If you need help, I have tools and things to help you. I can help you get monetized in multiple aspects. So we can help you with that. If you need help, go ahead and leave a comment below or like the video. We can discuss some of the options. That said, you're going to want to figure out how to utilize SEO. Now, the tip I'm giving, one of the best ways to utilize SEO is engagement. Encourage people to leave likes, comments, questions, and respond to them and get back to them. And usually that engagement will be very beneficial. Number three, have multiple ways to make it easier for your client to pay. What I utilize is payment installments with interest-free opportunities, as well as interest opportunities for those who are approved. So that really makes it a lot easier on the clientele. And finally, the most important is you want to have a quality product. All my products are very high quality. They're very engaging. They utilize active recall, spaced repetition. On top of that, I give them editor products as well. So usually my clients always tell me, and they feel like they cheated me. They feel like they gotten way more bang for their buck than they paid for. And that's exactly how I want to leave my clients. I want my clients to always feel like they cheated me, like I gave them more than what they thought they deserved or needed. So I hope that helps. That was my video on making money as a yoga instructor or making money as a business owner online. And we will have another one of these very soon.